Hello everyone, it's Becca from Becca Books and Bujo, and today we are playing my deck of TBR game for November. It's the best time of the month. It's TBR time, and I couldn't be more excited. I'm always excited to figure out what I'm going to read for the next month, but before we do that, let's check how I did in October. Here's the stack I had. One book was just on audio, so I don't have that one physically shown here, but let's just go through the prompts and the books and if I read them or not. For the first book, I pulled the Joker, and so I read my bomb book, which was House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. I'm like halfway-ish through this book, and I will finish it. Plus, my game rules are that I need to be 100 pages into the book for it to count as a win. So that's definitely a win. It's a 600-page book, and we're at page like 300 or something. So that's a win. The next prompt was a feed scroll, and for that I chose Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I should say this wasn't just my deck of TBR. It was also the Spookopoly prompts that I got. So I'll link the video above if that is confusing to you and you want to check out how I chose my TBR for October. Anyway, getting back to, then we had, I think, a chance prompt from Spookopoly, and for that I picked The Immortalists by Chloe Benjamin out of my TBR jar, and I did read this. Then we got a reread, and I picked The Right Three by Blue Balliot, and I did complete that book. Then for a random color and a color in the title, I chose the book Black Widows by Kate Quinn, and I did read that. For an adaptation and a big book, I chose The Help by Catherine Stockett, and I am, I would say, 75 pages in. I'm filming this early, a whole week and a day early, so I definitely will finish The Help before October is out. And then the last book I got was prompt, I should say, is a BIPOC author mixed with a witchy book. And for that, I chose The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. I'm only 50 pages through that one, but again, my rule is 100 pages, and I can definitely knock out another 50 pages before October is done. So I'm counting that as a win. So this is only like the first time I've ever won my game with my new wheel, either punishment or reward. And so let me pull up my reward wheel. Of course, updating the app. All right, here are the reward prompts, and we will spin. A bomb book swap. So I believe if I get the bomb book, I can choose a different book instead? Question mark? Or the bomb book I get? The bomb book is the book that I have to read if I draw a Joker, I should say. And I think if I originally choose the bomb book for the game and I don't like it, I can choose a different one. That reward doesn't really work this time around because I have a specific bomb book that I'm going to put on the board. Just like in October, I wanted my spooky horror bomb book on there, and so I put House of Leaves on there, and we actually drew it, and so that book was read. That bomb book was read, and so I also want to do something similar for my bomb book, so let's just go to the board. I still have House of Leaves on here, but I'm going to replace that with a new bomb book, and I'm just going to choose The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. This is a book I need to read in November or else it will self-destruct, because 12 months ago I did these books will self-destruct in 12 months. And so The Goldfinch is going to go on here as my bomb book because I need to get it, and maybe that's how I can choose my reward swap prompt. Looking at the board, I need to replace this 10 of Diamonds prompt. That must have been the last card we drew last time. So let's replace that with a dog pick. Focus, focus. A dog pick, so I would choose a few books and let either Barrett or Bonnie pick a book. Before we draw any cards, I should mention there are two readathons that I want to loosely participate in this month. Loosely being, if it works, great. If not, that's okay, because I'm not putting too many stakes into these readathons. So the first is Historathon. This is hosted by Amanda from On the Middle Shelf, Lindsay from Lindsay's Nightstand, and Gloria from Gloria Z. Thompson. And they did a pick a prompt idea for this round. There's one book to read together, which is Crow Mary by Kathleen Grissom, and then they each picked 3 prompts, and you have to pick 1 prompt from each host. So maybe that will happen. I love historical fiction, and that's what this readathon is all about. So maybe I will read some historical fiction books this month. And then the other readathon that was just announced today, I think, well, I just saw it today, is the Phase Out Your TBR, which is hosted by Chris at Chris's Corner. She does the Phase 10 TBR video, and you know me, I love to gamify all things about reading, and so I just loved her idea about getting the phase by choosing prompts to get those cards. And so I will also try to fit my books into the prompts to get 2 sets of 3 for phase. If you know Phase 10, this is Phase 1. But we'll talk about that at the end, maybe, how all my books fit into readathon prompts. Okay, let's get going. I'm so excited to play my game. It's just such a fun way to start a month of reading. It's fun to try to get books that I actually want to read, but then also get some random ones in there too. Okay, so the cards are shuffled. Have I done everything I need to do? I think so. Here we go. Card number 1 is a 10 of clubs. Huh, interesting. Okay, this is librarian pick. And with this one, I think I would generally go to the library and ask my librarian to pick a book. Interesting. I wonder if I could go to my library's Facebook group and see if there are any librarian picks on there, just because I am eager to figure out what I would read. Although I do need to go to the library tomorrow and pick up a book, so I could ask that way, but let's check it out. I know that they have staff recommends on their shelf, right up front. So yeah, I'm not finding anything on their Facebook page. Okay, friends, I just wanted to hop in here and show you what I meant by the brochure of all of the staff picks. I just thought it was so cute, and we'll go through these to see what book I am picking. So out of these, I've already read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and All the Light We Cannot See. I've also read Writers and Lovers. I've read a book by Meg Wolitzer before, not this one, but I wasn't super sold on her book called The Interestings, so maybe not that one. Here we've got The Streel by Mary Logue and Useful Projects. It's a nonfiction, probably not Remarkable Creatures by Tracy Chevalier or The Secret Life of Sunflowers by Marta Molnar. Not set on those. Interesting. Here's The Goldfinch, which you'll see in a bit why it's interesting. Where'd You Go, Bernadette? I've already read. Haven't heard of Bone Gap. I have heard Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. Not gonna tackle that one this month. The Broken Road, The Number of Love. These are some of the youth that work at the library. I actually know them through school, and one of them is our babysitter, but Reminders of Him, Colleen Hoover. That's interesting. I can get through those quickly, so that's a possibility. Okay, then here we've got, I just hauled The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary, but I kind of want to read that and watch the new TV series or movie. I can't remember what is coming out. Here we've got The Funny Thing About Norman Foreman. Haven't heard of that. And what's this say? In the Garden of Beasts by Eric Larson, or Instructions for a Heat Wave by Maggie O'Farrell. I've obviously heard of that author, but I think out of these it might be the Colleen Hoover. So I guess I will just go to the library and put a picture of the book that my librarian picks right here. Now I'm sad that I don't have an actual book for the first pick, but that's okay. All right, we will replace that prompt with, oh, this is a new prompt, a video project. I have been recently, oh, come on. Not gonna focus. It says video project. Do you believe me? I've been recently wanting to do more themed vlogs, and so in order to get the books for those themed vlog ideas that I have, I decided to put that prompt on the board. Okay, I'll put the 10 of clubs back in and shuffle the cards. Man, I really wish I knew. I almost picked up, it was like this cute little brochure that they have for each of the librarians, and they each picked like 3 books. I wish I would have picked it up and brought it home. And we could have chosen a book together, but you already know what I picked. It's this one. Sorry, editing me. Okay, here we go. Draw number 2. An ace. Uh-oh. Okay. An ace is my TBR jar. Completely up to chance. Okay, let me get the jar. Here it is. I don't even know how updated this is. I recently have gotten a lot of new books, and I can't remember if I put them in here or not. I know I put one recent haul in, but I don't know. Okay, this is very scary. Okay, we're picking this one. I don't know, friends. I don't know. Oh, okay. This is, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, A Prayer for Owen Meany. This is by John Irving, and it does happen to be a historical fiction, so maybe it would fit into one of those prompts. It says, I am doomed to remember a boy with a wrecked voice, not because of his voice or because he was the smallest person I ever knew, or even because he was the instrument of my mother's death, but because he is the reason I believe in God. I am a Christian because of Owen Meany. In the summer of 1953, 2 11-year-old boys, best friends, are playing in a Little League baseball game in Gravesend, New Hampshire. One of the boys hits a foul ball that kills the other boy's mother. The boy who hits the ball doesn't believe in accidents. Owen Meany believes he is God's instrument. What happens to Owen after that 1953 foul ball is extraordinary. I don't know. I've heard that this is like a pretty great book. I think. And it has #1 national bestseller on the top, so it's got to be good, right? And 1953, it's a historical fiction. Okay, definitely not in the plans, but that's okay. My second book, going on the TBR. There are no prompts to replace, so we will just put the Ace of Diamonds back in and shuffle. I did not see that one coming. This game is full of surprises. Okay. Card number 3 is a king. A king is a spinner wheel. Interesting. So for this one, I have a spinner wheel of genres, and I actually recorded TBRs of each of my genres a year and a half ago now, and had people put recommendations in the comments. And so I will spin the wheel, see what genre the wheel gives me, go to that video, and see if there are any recommendations. Let's go. Okay, I have the wheel up, and we are going to spin. Okay, we've got romance or chick lit, so I'll go to that video. Here we are on my channel. You know, I think I can find it easier if I go to playlists, because I did a physical TBR series. Oh, don't look at that. Okay, romance. Pause. Are there any comments? One comment. It is, I love Lorna Landvik, but I think I remember Angry Housewives Eating Bonbons was not one of my favorites. I read it a long time ago, so I can't remember a lot about it. I am not sure that I have read The Yaya Sisterhood. Is there a movie? Okay, this is because this is my mother. And, I had said something about her in the video. So, no recommendations. So then I just need to choose a romance or chick lit on my shelves. didn't really have any romances on my list. Okay, I'm trying to decide between two. We've got Open Water by Caleb Azuma Nelson. This is one I've been wanting to get to ever since I bought it a few months ago. And this is a more hard-hitting romance, but one that I've heard is really, really good. The other one is kind of a curveball. This is If You Believe by Kristen Hanna. This is a super old book written by Kristen Hanna, but yeah, 1993. But love is a central theme in it, and it is the last Kristen Hanna I need to read in order to have read all of her books, except for some really old ones that are out of print that I can't find anywhere. So I don't know, do I finish a goal of mine from like 2022 to read all of Kristen Hanna books, or do I pick one that I really want to read? I'm torn. I really want to do this, but I think I'm going to try to finish this project that I've been working on for a year and a half now and read If You Believe by Kristen Hanna. This one is about Mariah Throckmorton. She was hiding from her past filled with scandal. And then we've got Mad Dog Stone. He was a drifter looking for a few days' work. He walked into her life, threatening Mariah's peace of mind and stirring emotions she tried to hide. Their love was born against all odds, difficult to count on, impossible to hold. Together they would learn the bittersweet truth that love only exists if you believe. Wow. Such a cliche blurb there, but we'll see. It's old. It might be out of date a little bit, but I'll give it a try. Okay, another face card prompt means we do not need to replace the prompt, so we can just put that king back in and shuffle. I really hope that the librarians have some books that I actually want to read in November, or else I'll just be reading a lot of books in November to try to get some other things accomplished. All right, draw number 4. And I was just going to say, if we get another club, we have to add another book. A 3rd club, which means we add a 6th draw. Okay, let's see what the 9 of clubs is first. A sister pick. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to text my sister, Naomi. She is the sister that I always talk about books to. I'm going to give her 3 options that were already on my TBR, or on my ideas. I don't even know if she'll know these books, but hopefully she'll just go on title vibes. So I texted her, pick a book. Good Girl, Bad Blood, which is by Holly Jackson, the 2nd book in the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. Then I gave her A Trick of the Light, which is book number 7, I believe, in the Chief Inspector Armand Gamache series by Louise Penny. I've been wanting to continue that series for a long time, and I just feel like November is great vibes for it. And then the 3rd option is Going Zero by Anthony McCartan. I actually saw this on Amanda from On the Middle Shelf's channel. She had read it over the summer and really enjoyed it, and I would use it as my Z for my A to Z challenge letter prompt. And so, come on, sister, be awake. It's kind of late on a school night, and she's a teacher. So, again, another book we won't know the answer to. Here it is. I hope she picked a good one. I am not having much control of this TBR at all. Got a librarian pick, a chance, a spinner wheel, and a sister pick. Will there be a prompt that I get to choose? Let's keep drawing to find out. Okay, we'll replace the 9 of clubs with this one. Oh, a blind pick. So my TBR jar just fell on the ground and all of the pieces of paper fell out. Okay, going back. This is blind pick, so I would pick it, but without my eyes. Okay, we'll put the 9 of clubs back in and shuffle. Come on. Okay, we've got 2 more books, or 2 more cards to draw, unless one of my crazy rules pops up, but let's get one of the books. I hoped to read in November on here? Well, my sister picking one of those three will help because those were all three that I wanted to read for various readathons. Good Girl, Bad Blood is for the buzzword. Going Zeros for the A to Z challenge. And then A Trick of the Light was for Whitney from TBR's Den readathon. She does the genre-a-thon. And the genre for this month is mystery or thriller. And so I wanted to continue on in that mystery series. Okay, enough shuffling, enough talking. What do we got? A 2 of hearts. A book I know nothing about. Okay, honestly, I'm putting my bomb book on here. This is a book I know nothing about. At one point, I maybe did, but honestly, I couldn't tell you one thing about this book. How terrible is that? I know it's by Donna Tartt, and she's a big author. She wrote The Secret History. I read that book, didn't like it, but I've heard that people who didn't like The Secret History liked The Goldfinch. So I'm putting it on. If I get the Joker later, I'll figure it out. But yeah, this is for, what did I say? A book I know nothing about. Indeed, a book I know nothing about. Going on for the 5th draw. My sister picked a book. She chose number 1, which was Good Girl, Bad Blood. I'll put this as a stand-in. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This will just be my stand-in in the stack, but the book that I have at the library that I need to go pick up is Good Girl, Bad Blood. So that'll go in as a placeholder. I'm glad my sister responded. Let me just say, thanks, sister. What an eclectic mix of books we have for this month. Okay, 2 of hearts going back in. Oh, we need to replace that prompt first before we shuffle. And we'll put this one in. A mystery. Mystery. I don't know how to get things to focus. Mystery. What? There. It worked. Okay. I put the 2 of hearts back in. Let's shuffle. This should be the last draw. Unless I get one of the previous cards already drawn, which, knowing my luck, it's going to happen. Of course, of course. Let's see. Okay, draw number 6. A 3 of diamonds. We're safe. We're in the clear. Let's see what it is. Oh! Completely not up to chance. A random number on Goodreads. I don't know how to make this focus. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, so you have to have a sound effect with it. Okay, we're going to open up the good old Goodreads on my computer because that actually has the numbers next to it. Do we go to I kind of want to go to my entire TBR. That could be totally and completely random, but I really want to. There's 570 books on this, friends. Okay, okay. Let's do another screen recording for fun. Is it fun? It's fun for you, your enjoyment. It's terrifying for me. Okay, record. Here we've got my TBR. Again, it says 570 books. Let's go random. Number between 1 and, what did I say? Is it 540 or 570? 570. 72. That's going to be an old book. The Lost Plot. This is in a series, the Invisible Library series. But here's the first book. Oh, The Lost Plot. Okay. By Genevieve Cogman. I guess then we have to go with the first book in the series, which is this. The Invisible Library. This says Irene must be at the top of her game or she'll be off the case permanently. Irene is a professional spy for the mysterious library, which harvests fiction from different realities. And along with her enigmatic assistant Kai, she's posted to an alternative London. Their mission to retrieve a dangerous book. But when they arrive, it's already been stolen. London's underground factions seem prepared to fight to the very death to find her book. Adding to the jeopardy, this world is chaos infested, the laws of nature bent to allow supernatural creatures and unpredictable magic. Irene's new assistant is also hiding secrets of his own. Soon, she's up to her eyebrows in a heady mix of danger, clues, and secret societies. Yet failure is not an option. The nature of reality itself is at stake. This is a fantasy. It's a book about books, which I feel is kind of perfect for fall. I feel like that gives me cozy fall vibes, and so maybe it's a cozy fantasy mystery that I will like. We'll see. A book that's been on my TBR for a while, or at least on my Goodreads want to read list, so I'm glad I'm getting to it. Alright, so let's go through what we've got. My first book is a librarian pick, and I don't know what my librarian's gonna pick, so you do though. Here it is. The second prompt was a TBR jar pick, and for that I got A Prayer for Owen Meany by John Irving. The third prompt got me to a spinner wheel, which chose the romance or chick lit genre. For that I chose If You Believe by Kristen Hanna. Then my sister got to pick a book, and she chose the second in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, which is called Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. Then I got a book that I know nothing about, and for that I chose The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. And lastly, we got a random number on my Goodreads, and that picked The Invisible Library by Genevieve Cogman. And so that will be book number 6 on my TBR. What a weird mix of books, and books that I really had no say over. My sister picked, my librarian picked, my TBR jar prompt picked, Goodreads picked. The one I really got to pick, well, 2 I got to pick, were not ones that I wanted to read this month. So, interesting. That's 6 books on my TBR. Some other ones I want to get to are A Trick of the Light by Louise Penny. Here's that one. Also Going Zero by Anthony McCartan, but that could be done in December because I just need to finish that by the end of the month. I also need to read Catch-22 and Cold Mountain. These are the last 2 books in my These Books Will Self-Destruct in 12 months. We'll see. That needs to be done by like November 15th. Yeah. Doesn't seem like it will happen. And I didn't get really any Historathon books on here either. I am not going to go and look at my prompts yet for the phase out your TBR. I'm just going to see where these books fit in and try to get my phases throughout the month. So that's what we've got, friends. Let me know if you have read any of these, including my librarian pick or The Invisible Library, especially that one. Let me know if you read that one. And if you liked them, if you didn't, it'd be great to have some bookish conversation with you down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video on your way out. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see any more bookish and bullet journaling content from me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!